All right, the secret is out. There is no magic potion or any special thing that you can do to instantly make your marriage right again. But there are simple habits you can incorporate in your marriage on a consistent basis that can help turn your marriage around. Are you ready?
Let's jump in.
Boom. Hi, I'm Charmaine.
And my name is Jomo. We come together with real, raw, and relevant conversation dealing with relationships. And today we got something for you. 10 simple habits to change your marriage.
All right, let's go. So we thought this was really good because there is a lot of marriages that, you know, if they just tweak just a few things in their daily, regimen to help their marriage. So we're going to give you 10 habits on how to turn your marriage around. Number 1, talk about everything. We thought this was really good because a lot of times in relationships, we only want to talk about the things that are easy. We only want to talk about the things that don't cause any conflict. But you should be able to talk to your spouse about everything, any and everything, because you want to be totally vulnerable and you want them to get to know you more and you want them to know what's going on, because what happens is when we hide things, it winds up coming out anyway, but it comes out in a negative way when we hold things back.
It's perceived that you don't trust me with the information. Now there's a balance here, because sometimes the trust is or the mistrust is real, because if you say certain things or you talk about your past or past relationship, or you have kids outside the house or kids that prior to marriage or prior relationships, you really don't want to talk about some things that come up. Right. For example, you have a child from a previous relationship, and the baby mother or the baby's father is contacting you, and you're trying to keep it on the low, but all of a sudden it pops up. Or a person online, a past relationship, or someone from high school reaches out to you, and you kind of keep it on the low. Right. Well, oftentimes, if you're not careful, that lack of communication comes out as a lack of trust. Right. So every now and then I have people reach out to me from my past, and I've learned the quickest thing to do is just communicate. Hey babe, I just want to show you this text message. I want to show you this email, so that now if anything pops up in the future, it's already been communicated.
And you were totally transparent.
I was totally and I feel better because life has a way of blowing up in your face. I don't know about you, but life has a way of just boom. I didn't expect that to happen. So it's so much easier to be transparent. Say, listen, someone reached out to me. Someone said something to me. Not too long ago, a person from the past reached out to me to ask me for something. And I said, Charmaine, guess who reached out to me? Again, communication.
That's good. Number 2, make intimacy a priority in your relationship.
You have to connect consistently. Now, for some, men may call it sex, women may call it cuddling. Or some women may call it cuddling, some may call it sex. What I'm saying is the gist of it is you have to make sure it's a priority that you get intimate on a consistent basis.
Right. Recommit yourself.
Biblically speaking, when we have sex, we are recoveting our relationship.
Right.
Prior to having wedding vows, sex was consummation of a marriage.
Right.
So every time we have sex with our spouses, we are recommitting, recoveting our relationship.
Right.
And it's something that you should do. It's good for you, it's healthy, and it feels good.
Right. So you're saying all the couples out there that are having sex and not married, they're really married in God's eyes?
All day long. You've been married.
Might as well go and get that paper.
You've been married.
Might as well go and make it official.
The scary part is if you had a lot of engagements, entanglements.
You married to a whole bunch of people?
I don't even want to go there because I know
that's totally off the subject.
That's way too much. TMI.
Okay, so number 3, kiss and hold hands on a daily basis. I think we neglect the power of touch in our relationship. We minimize it.
Correct.
In our relationship because we don't think that it's that important, but it is so important.
Vital.
And it gives you a sense of security to know the person still cares about you. They love you. They care about you enough to think about you, to hold your hand, to kiss you and show you
to
that
grab
they
your
love
butt.
you.
Like this morning, I did that. We hugged, and I took both my hands, and I just did a quick grab. Just touch. Listen, you can tell when someone's not feeling you because they won't feel you.
They won't touch you.
But when they're feeling you, they feel you.
They feel you.
So
literally.
you should so you can tell based on how you're feeling or being how someone is feeling on you based how they feel about you.
Right. That's
so
good.
it's good to touch. It's good to caress. It's good to kiss.
That's good. Number 4, do a physical activity together on a daily basis. Now, this may not be realistic for every couple to do some type of physical activity together every day, but try to do it as much as you can, because when you get together, it promotes conversation, it promotes communication, and it promotes you all being healthy together, physically healthy together.
For the long term.
Right.
And
it's a good lifestyle.
And sometimes I see people don't want to do it because one spouse may be a little bit more physically fit than the other.
Right.
Well, suffer for that season. Okay, they can't run at your pace. Slow your butt down and walk at their pace.
That's good that you
because
said that, babe.
That is the key aspect. And if we can walk it out and allow them to progress, we can get to a certain place. But you can't expect your spouse to be on your level at all times. Example, I was a professional athlete. Okay, Charmaine tries to hang with me, but we already know that ain't happening, right? But just because it's not happening doesn't mean I can't slow down and walk with her.
Right.
So sometimes what we do is I may go ride my bike for an hour and change, and then I say I'll come back and get you, and then we can ride.
Or I'll meet up with him.
And she'll meet up later, or I'll go running ahead of time and come back to the house and say, "Are you ready?" So guess what happened? I've already got in the most of my workout, and at this second half of my workout, I'm working at her pace. Now, guess what? We both got everything accomplished without, either one of us feeling any kind of way.
Right. It's so interesting how when we do that together, our neighbors will compliment us on walking together. And, I've noticed a couple of the neighbors actually, starting to walk together and stuff, which is really cool because it promotes, unity.
Correct.
And who doesn't want to have that in their relationship, right?
True that.
So, number 5. Make date night a priority in your relationship.
It's an investment. We just had a date night at PF Chang's, and until you go on a date, you don't realize how much you miss a date, because you get so caught up in the monotony of life, and you don't make time for each other. But I just love going on a date with my wife. I just love the whole process. I like the car. I like the conversation. I like the meat. I like the food. I just love being alone with her.
Yeah, and no distractions.
And we have to make sure that we date our wife for life. Never get to the point where you're content. Meaning, I've never won her. I'm always chasing her. Even with myself, I keep myself in a certain take care of myself because I want her to know that I'm trying to make myself look the best presentation for her. Right. So you want to make sure that this dating mentality stays. Right. Just because you married them does not mean you have won them. Right. The chase is still on.
And if you can't afford, if you're in one of those seasons where
money's funny
and change is strange, you want to make sure you get creative with date night. It doesn't always have to be a financial thing. It could be watching the sunset, near a bridge or a pier.
Yeah, go to McDonald's.
Or go to McDonald's.
Grab a bag and go somewhere, eat somewhere nice.
Right.
Go to a park or something like that. But you can figure it out.
Or go to the dollar movie or watch a movie at home and create a whole date night scene in the bedroom or on your patio.
You can make a way.
Right.
Money doesn't have to be an impediment to your date night.
Right. Number 6, reminisce.
Reminisce.
Right. You want to make sure that you're not constantly remembering why you're with this person, how you all fell in love, what you loved about them at the very beginning, because sometimes we get lost in, the monotony of everyday life and we forget why we're together.
Correct.
What, drew you to that person initially. So
I think it's so key to a lasting relationship, because oftentimes people leave for the 20 and they forget about the 80.
Oh, yeah.
There's a lot of things that you saw and that's a benefit and good. So every now and then you get to write a list. I mean, it's good to remind yourself of what you have.
Right. I remember we were riding in the car recently and we were talking about when we first met, and I was thinking about how I love the fact that I always laughed. He always made me laugh. And that has never stopped.
I'm fun. I'm a comedian.
We laugh at each other. I think we kind of feed off of each other's comedy because I'm definitely a comedian.
She's not.
So everyone thinks I'm funny.
She thinks she is. I believe.
But anyway, just make sure you're reminiscing every now and then because it helps you get back to grassroots in your relationship. Number 7, practice active listening. Thank you. Practice active listening.
We have to make sure that we're responsible for hearing it right. We're responsible for saying it right. But we want to make sure that we're listening to understand and not to respond.
Right. There's a scripture in the Bible that says you should be slow to speak.
Yes. Quick to listen.
I had a brain fart.
That's all right.
And slow to wrath.
That's slow to wrath. So we want to make sure that we have 2 ears and 1 mouth.
Right.
You want to listen twice as much as you speak. So you want to make sure you're an active listener.
I think we should all incorporate that in our marriages. That scripture is really good. Number 8, never stop having fun together.
Yeah, I think sometimes people get a little prudish, stuck up, and they no longer are enjoyable to be with.
Right, because everything's so serious.
Yeah, there's no spontaneity.
You all should definitely be each other's friends.
Correct.
And just like you would have fun with a girlfriend or a buddy, you should have fun with your spouse as well. So create the environment, the culture in your relationship to have fun with each other.
It's a great thing.
And it's easier to communicate with somebody that you have fun with versus somebody that you always feel like you're on the attack with.
Exactly.
Okay. Number 9, give words of affirmation. We want to always be encouraging our spouses. We always want to be building them up in the Lord, speaking life to their situation, right?
Well, the key aspect is death and life's in the power of the tongue. So you get what you say. So I know early in our relationship, I was very, I didn't have a lot of patience. And I would always say, you know what, let's just get a divorce. Let's just get a divorce.
Right.
And it wasn't healthy. And one of my mentors spoke to me and said, Jomo, you better be careful what you say because you're going to get it. And I realized once I changed my verbiage, my relationship changed. It could be that the biggest issue that you have is your mouth.
Right.
And until we check our mouth and speak life and encouragement, we may prolong tough seasons because we live in the harvest of our words.
Right, right. Can I get this eyelash? It's just hanging.
You are just such a...
Let me see.
Okay, you got it.
Okay.
Nah, I can't.
Number 10, I actually said it. Speak life to your spouse. You want to make sure that you're creating an atmosphere where you're always encouraging, you're building up, you are letting them know that they're important to you. You're joining in with them in, the purpose that God has for them. And when you do that, people always want to be around you when you speak life. A lot of times our spouses, and I'm not just speaking about the men, but the women too, you get beat up in the world, on the job, you may not have the best job, or you may not have the job that you aspire to have or whatever, or you may have that one coworker that just makes your life a living hell, literally, and you just want to come home to a peaceful environment. Well, you can create that peaceful environment by the words that you speak to each other.
Correct. We have to be our spouse's biggest cheerleader to encourage them through. I know so many times in our relationship, I'm very quick to encourage Charmaine, and if she says a negative word about herself, I'm always there. No,
you do.
I try to reinforce who she is.
Yeah, that's so good. Well, we appreciate you spending this time with us. If you enjoyed this video, please give us a thumbs up. And if you haven't subscribed yet to our channel, please do so and click that notification button so that you can get notified when we upload new videos. And remember, love, laugh, and learn.
Be blessed.